honor for me. I've been blessed. Ms. Osei Tutu, please, do you remember when you joined HMI?
Try to remember, but I think
How do I
you were
remember
still
I
at
was
Islegon. Yes,
Yes,
Islegon.
yes, ma'am.
You were still at Islegon. Yes. I think I visited Islegon, and then the other office around Pantang.
Okay, the HMI office.
Yes,
Office.
HMI office.
Okay.
I've also visited most of the places. Yeah, meetings there. Yeah.
It's been a great honor having you and seeing a whole MD. Hey. The madam herself. The madam herself. Oh my God. The madam herself. And it's great honor seeing the madam herself. And I remember when Thelma came with you and said, "This is my boss." Hey, I don't know, but I just want to thank God for my life. That's what I'm doing this season. Thanking God for what He's done in my life. And in every August, I think over a period of time, I try and look back and be grateful to what God has done in my life. And this year, as I thought of it, I felt in my spirit to have this sessions where I'm celebrating daughters. And like you heard, she's calling me mommy. And like you heard from the other people I've also interviewed, they call me mommy. And it's just by grace. It's not by age, but a recognition of who God has called me to be. And it's been a blessing. And one of those great people who have been in my life and in the ministry, especially in Hopeful Ministries International, is Mrs. Osei Tutu. Mrs. Osei Tutu. And she's been so much of a blessing. And when I look at her as the MD, and Mommy, I think at that time you were DMD then, when you joined.
Yes.
She was. So, I mean, DMD is...
Yes, please.
And I just thank God, because sometimes when I see people coming in like that with that level of education and that status, sometimes I'm wondering, hey, I know it's always said that, hey, Reverend can do it, Reverend knows how to handle people, but you don't know how I pray. I'm like, how can I handle this? How can I handle this person? And it's been an awesome journey and an awesome. I think sometimes you talk about friendship between the two of us, and I think it's been an awesome friendship. Mommy, how do you look at us beyond the mommy daughter and see friendship between the two of us?
I must say that it's been awesome actually. Throughout the journey after meeting you, I just look at the whole thing and I was like, oh my God, I think I have. How would I call you? My younger sister? Yes, because you're younger, much younger.
Your younger sister.
Exactly. But it is more like having my real sibling, because there's so many things that we share together, and I think we have in common. And so anytime I sit down, it's like, I think I didn't meet this woman just by accident. It is God ordained, because there are so many things that in terms of my my career and my life, yes, I think I align to some extent with you. Yes, as you do. And it's actually been a very lovely relationship, because beside everything, we still have our talks, and we're able to share things together, yes, ideas together. And I'm able to, tell you things that you have guided me so far. I must say that it's been very, very awesome. The relationship has just gone beyond maybe sister relationship. It's like, it's another level altogether, because I call you anytime, because it's not all sisters that you can actually reach to like that. But in your case, it's extraordinary. I mean, anytime I call on you, you're ready for me, and you will guide me, you advise me, you kind of mentor me. I think that is the word that we use. I've always to do with the word of God. I don't hesitate at all. But your outfit has been one such a wonderful one, so blessing, and one I must say, because several times In fact, I run to you and I get solutions. I must say, I get a lot of solutions from you. It doesn't matter how late or how early I call you, Mommy, you are there for me. And it's been awesome. It's been awesome for the family. Like I said, in fact, I've been talking to you most of the time. My husband even sees it that, hey, it is Mrs. Dad most of the time.
Yeah, so I
It is
remember one
Mrs.
of the
Dad
days
most
where
of
you
the
said,
time.
speak to him. I'm like,
Exactly.
hey.
Because he's also so shy about you, but I forced him to do that. So once in a while, then I push him in, and I tell him. And once I tell him, Reverend said this, he said, okay, that's fine. And then she'll be so obedient and listen to you. It means that she sees a lot of things that are going on around her. She sees the improvement. She sees the God hands that is really touching the entire family, because it's not just on me, but on all of them. And the peaceful atmosphere that we're enjoying just because of God's grace that abound us all the time. And so we can't take any of them for granted. Right. So, Mommy, I think it's been a real training. My children attest to that fact that, there's a lot you've done for us. Without you, several times we always have to consult. Once we see a situation or something that we think that you have to look differently, whichever way we find, we try to let you know. We'll let you know that, for a fact. And so it's been awesome actually having you, Mommy.
Yes,
and
awesome.
Everything. And
I think mentioning your children, especially your ladies, I just love the way, you handle them. And it wasn't really a bother to me, but I saw you not really pushing them into HMI. You come every month, you are here. You're always here. You make time to be here, even if you have to attend any meeting, you would ensure that you go and still come. And gradually, once in a while, you bring them. And you did not push them like, come. But right now, I look at them and I laugh and I'm like, oh God. that is a mother's touch. Gradually. I can see all your daughters now also fully serving, not only just being here, serving in HMI. And I don't know how you did it.
Maybe there's one even aspect that you don't know about, but even my son. Yes, my son, he has a girlfriend that is, and then you'll be like, hey, I would say she's coming, Mommy. HMI. So then she'll tell them, go, Mommy is going, you have to go with my mom. You have to plan. Wow. It's like he's even also been able to push the girlfriend to come along most of the time. And so the other time, the girl was saying, the other time, when she came, Mommy said that now boyfriends can come. So you have to start coming. So it's like it's the entirety. The entire family. We're so grateful, and we see everything, your time and that quality time that you give to us all the time. We are so grateful. Very, very grateful.
And Mommy, I am very grateful. I couldn't have celebrated my prominent daughters without you. Looking at where God has brought you, and even for now, you are the managing director, that's the MD for the Republic Bank, Boafo. And it's been a blessing looking at you, looking at your humility. And one of the joys for me is that the other young ladies look at you, and you are, and Mrs. Osei Tutu, the 3 a.m. on Zoom. I remember when we started, you were part of those people I started with. You've been on with me from beginning. I remember the earlier part, you were there. And I remember there was a number about around 40. I'll never forget that number. We're almost like 40 every morning when we started. But you've been there. You've been there up till now. And up till now, people can't just, when they come and they say, hey, Mrs. Osei Tutu is on me, I can't sleep. The MD herself is on. The MD herself is coming for meeting. The MD herself, we are wearing t-shirts, she's wearing. The MD herself, we are kneeling down, she's kneeling down, she's lying down. It's so much of an encouragement. And sometimes, Mommy, when people move to a higher level in status, sometimes as if God is not really part. So how is it for you and your position and the place of God in your life and in what you do.
Okay. So, Mommy, I must say, like I've always said, I was privileged to have my grandmother, who was a staunch Presbyterian, and brought me up, actually. And same with my mom's she kind of instilled this kind of Christianity in them. When I was growing up with my grandmother, as I've always said, there's one thing that she keeps on reminding me as little as I was at the age of 5, 6, thereabout, and she would wake up from bed at dawn. So this dawn thing, when it came,
oh wow,
not just yes, oh yeah, yeah. So my grandma is even earlier than the 3 a.m. She would actually be up by 2 a.m. and she would be kneeling down praying to God. And we sleep on the same bed. I sleep behind her, and so she'll call me, said, "Come on, get down, come and kneel." And then she actually will ask me to kneel down with her. And I'll be sleeping. So she'll be praying for all. And what I realized is she'll pray for every one of us, all grandchildren of hers, all her daughters, her children, to be more precise. And people, even the church people, the pastors, this woman will list them one after the other. And she will pray for each and every one of them. And that is what she did. This she did consistently. There was not a single dawn that won't wake up, and I'll be sleeping, and she'll be kicking me. So wake up. And then she intentionally will ask me to pray. And after she's praying, she asked me, "Evelyn, pray for your parents. Pray," and I'll pray. And then we'll sing our Presbyterian hymnaries. We sing them the songs, and then she will recite me through. And there are some of the psalms that she will let me recite them. I have to learn all that. So at the age of 6, 7, I was actually already singing as a soloist in the church.
Wow.
And I remember my first song I sang was "It Is Well With My Soul." Yeah.
Wow.
That was my first song I sang in church.
I now understand why when any song
I love that song so much.
Your voice will be heard.
Exactly. And so I sang that song in church, and the whole congregation were amazed. And what they would say that, "Oh, indeed, she comes from this home," which is my grandmom, right? And even at the age of 7, 8, 9, I started leading the choir. I was also leading in the singing band and the women class.
Wow.
So you see me in my white clothes.
Wow.
I've always been a very slim, thin, very emaciated. Yes. But you see me actually going through everything. So by the age of 12, I was already leading the liturgy. Yeah. And all that. So I would come, mount the pulpit and do some preaching, go to the children hall, do some preaching, teach them. And I went through it until secondary school, and then to Trinity College.
So where was this? Was it in Accra?
I was leading in. My grandmom's place was around in Sawam. That was in Sawam Presby Church.
Okay.
To 12.
Okay.
Yes. And then I went to secondary school. And so that's when I came to Accra. I went to Ibri, then I came to Accra. And so that's when I started with Trinity. So I was in the youth, graduated from there into the adults, and then I was leading liturgies and all that. So, when it comes to church activity, it's 24/7 for me. Everything I'm there, actually.
Wow.
That's why the other time I was telling you that I knew Tego Sisters and Glorious of Daughters.
Yeah.
What have you?
And I'm now connecting the dots.
Yeah,
yes.
Exactly.
Because
so
you were telling me you used to go for
every program
every program that they did, you used to go. Wow.
Exactly. I was in the SU, I was a leader there. I would always run to the house of the Lord to worship God. I never give an excuse to situations around me. And my parents are all very much aware of that. I remember my cousin's boyfriend, who is a white person from US, came. for a holiday, and he wanted to take us out. He wanted to go out for a club and things. And he was telling my mom that, hey, I'm taking the girls out. The girls are. And then my mom said that, well, any man was Evelyn, because she will take you to the church if that's where you want to go. If that's where you want to go, because that's where she belongs to. I mean, you can count it out. Exactly. And truly, I took him to church. So by the time he left Ghana, he was like, oh, Evelyn, there's one thing I remember for. You made me a Christian before I left Ghana, and on it. So it's actually part of my life, in office, everywhere. I mean, everyone knows that. And you can't take that away from me, because I've seen so much. God has done so much in my life,
that
from one level to the other.
we get to know the stories of
yes.
I mean, listening to you right
Yes,
now,
yes.
I can understand the foundation.
Yeah.
Training up the child in the way
And
that
my grandma, yes,
and you will not
exactly.
depart
So when
from
he grows, he doesn't depart from
Yeah.
it. Exactly. And prayer was one thing that my grandma play around with. Every little thing, my grandmother would pray about it. It doesn't matter how little, how small the situation is. It's like every second you see her praying and praying and praying and praying and praying. And so I remember a story that I told you before, when I was a small girl in a court with her. I told you one evangelist just walked in there, and then she was like, and those times, those kind of people, at times you are not too sure of them and things like that. But she entered my grandma's hall and she saw me in the court, and she said, oh my God, this your grandchild is a great person. And that she's holding the flower in the hand. And so my grandma, mommy looked at her and said, yes. She herself, she can sense it. She can sense it.
You definitely know.
Exactly.
A woman of prayer. Train up the child in the way that he should go. When he grows, he will not depart from it. Then it means for us as women especially, we have, and parents, we can't run away from this charge. We can't run away from this responsibility. Train up the child in the fear of the Lord. And when that person grows up, it doesn't matter the status, it doesn't matter how far you go in life, the amount of money you have, the kind of influence you have, still God will be first. And this is one great woman who is always with us on Zoom 3 a.m. And I can never forget last year, 2022, October, where you had to now go and attend to something for work. And this one, oh my God, she came as late as it was. And she still came to have her own time on the altar with her daughters that came along with her. They had their own worship time. I think they had their own word time. She didn't want to miss anything. And before she left, I looked at you and I was like, oh my God, I've been blessed. And I thank God that God has raised women like that. A woman who fears the Lord, she shall be praised. May we continue to allow God to be the center of our lives every day, anytime, despite the status, despite whatever. We can have time. By this woman, I know you can have time. Everything she does, like she's saying, by prayer. There's no meeting she enters that she will not send me a message. There's nothing that she's doing that she will not say, hey, Mommy, let's pray about it. Every single thing, we pray about it. Every single thing. And she doesn't mind calling you every day. Every day. I've seen her. She will call me every day on particular issues that we have to raise up in prayer. And a woman who fears the Lord, who has a position, please still have God in your life. And God will continue to lift you. And I believe it's even an advantage for us, because as we move higher, there are a lot of battles. And sometimes that's how women cannot even go up. Because sometimes they look at envy, they look at bitterness, they look at all those things. And sometimes we are afraid even to just take up certain positions. But I believe if we have God, we know that we can go high. And our God would ensure that what He has given us, the whole world will see. God bless you. Bye. And it's still Osei August. Mommy, Osei August.